Welcome to the Retreat Leaders Podcast, the show for visionary coaches, healers, wellness pros, and small business owners who aren't just here to host another feel-good getaway, but to build a profitable, impactful retreat business. I'm your host, Shannon Jamail, retreat strategist, business mentor, and owner of a 46-acre retreat center. I've hosted over 100 retreats around the world, and I've made every mistake so you don't have to. Each week, we'll dive into the mindset, marketing, money, business, and mechanics behind sold-out, profitable retreats. Plus, hear from expert guests who are walking the talk. Whether you're planning your first retreat or scaling your 100th, you're in the right place. Welcome to the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. It's Shannon. This is another edition that is special for the Retreat Industry Forum. Once again, when you listen to this, I don't know if we will have any tickets left. We are literally to the last few that are left, but if we don't have any tickets left, then please consider joining us in Paris in November, and you can grab the wait list in our show notes. In the meantime, I'm here with my buddies Erin and Alison, who are co-hosting the forum with me, and Erin has got a special announcement.
Yeah, I'm really excited because we have a very special guest, somebody who popped onto the scene who has been in the retreat industry for a very, very long time. But recently, within the past couple of months, I became very familiar with this person and an organization that she has created that is 1,000,000% in alignment with the mission of the Retreat Industry Forum. And so there is no better sponsor than Holly Porter, who is the founder of the International Retreat Association, joining us as a sponsor. Welcome, Holly.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you, Shannon, Erin, and Alison, for having me here. Apologize for my voice. It was gone for 12 days, so this is as good as it gets for now.
Wow.
I gotta say, it sounds kind of sexy.
I was just
Kind of that
thinking that,
natural
Erin.
radio voice, it sounds like.
Woo!
Right?
I used to be
I
a
was like,
senior.
keep talking to me.
You can tell.
Now it's
You
slow.
can tell.
Oh my goodness. Well, welcome, Holly. Why don't you just start off by telling us a little bit about who you are and then tell us about your association?
Yeah. Well, I have been an entrepreneur all my life, and I've had 12 startup companies, all kinds of different things, while raising 8 children. We have 19 grandkids now. So we've always been very busy people, and
I'll say.
I had a shift when I got COVID, like most of us, but I spent 70 days in the hospital, intubated twice, trachea, sepsis, you name it. And with that, I had a lot of spiritual experiences, including a near-death experience, which really shifted me into more of this space than it was before. And so while I was writing my book about it, I just had this epiphany. It's a very spiritual calling for me, and was told pretty much to do this. And so I wasn't looking for another company to start, but here we are. And it's just, there's no imposter syndrome behind it, nothing. It's like, I know this is the direction it needs to go. Obviously, you ladies with what you're doing do as well. And it's been an interesting little ride here, and I'm so excited for where it's headed. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now I
Wow.
love this. Tell me what the association aims to do. Talk to us about like your goal, your mission, what and why it's needed.
Well, we exist to cultivate, I can't even speak today. Cultivate, collaborate, trust, set goals, global standards, evaluate professionalism across the whole global retreat industry. And that's, I think, what you're bringing together as well. And that whole ecosystem needs a home base for everything. We need everything that is being done. But I feel like I was shocked when I realized there was an association created for the ecosystem to literally, be housed under. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Erin,
this
I cut
is
you
one of
off.
the
You were going to say
things.
something.
This was one of the things that really sparked my interest in connecting with Holly, because the reason we decided to create the Retreat Industry Forum was because of that, because we were shocked that there wasn't one annual gathering where everybody in the industry could come to. And like Holly said, there's also no governing body. Every other industry out there has some sort of association, governing body, organization where by which you become affiliated, and then that sets the precedent and that tells people I operate and function at a certain level. And that mission is completely why we decided there needs to be a forum also. There needs to be not just a governing body, an association, but there's got to be a place, an event where everybody comes together. So this is really, I believe, a perfect marriage of our two missions.
For sure. Yeah, when I was doing my research on a lot of things, I made this table, out of what the differences were and what because I was trying to wrap my head around the differences and everything, and kind of like how it summed it up for me was events gather the industry, platforms help people execute, and associations provide the stability and the trust
Yeah.
within that.
Yeah.
Well, and I have to say, it's no then coincidence that we've got the event, which is the Retreat Industry Forum, the platform, which is We Travel, another sponsor,
Yeah.
and then the association, the governing body,
Yep.
which is you, the
No accident.
Boom.
Industry Association.
No
Boom.
accident.
Yeah.
I
And
love that.
I'll just jump in here for a minute because I've come from 30 years plus career in the health and fitness industry, and our industry is full of professional associations. And I just remember as a student being told when you have an association that you can really align yourself with, not just for the mission and the educational standard and all of that, but I think it's also about the people that you invite to join you in that association. It's like the relationships that you build and the networking and all of that. It
Yeah.
gives you kind of a place to go when there's a problem, or like in my case years ago when there was a job opening or there's an internship opportunity or whatever. It's like, when you have a professional organization that you can stand behind, it just adds a lot more credibility to what you do.
Yeah, it really does. And I hope it doesn't become just this big policing force. That's not
Yeah.
what I am creating it
Yeah.
for, because people have asked that. How are you? Well, sure, we'll have an ethics committee and things, but I mean, there's going to be different levels that we're not starting with all of them. And I just share with people, hey, come grow with us, help us, stand by us. It's all new. It's like
Yeah.
to me, it's an empty blank canvas that we get to throw our own paint on, and
Yeah.
and we don't have to follow any association rules if we don't want to. We get to create our own. So makes it fun.
I love it. So right now, your goal is to create the community first, is to gather the members. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So well, gosh, we're in April, aren't we? So this month, by the end of the month, we'll be launching what we call the Essential membership. What I am really proud of is I feel like it needs to be a home for everybody. So with the basic Essential membership, I wanted it affordable for any retreat leader. It's $111 for the whole year, which is just reasonable. Later, we'll launch some other tiers. We'll also at that time launch a founding membership, and there'll only be 100 of those, and I feel like they'll go really quickly. And I have a leadership council right now that I've curated that is kind of just movers and shakers too in specific areas of knowledge and expertise that they're bringing to the table, and that's kind of really where we're starting. I'm usually one that starts with everything, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that this time. We're going to just do a little at a time and then grow together. So
I know you're going to talk about it at the forum with everybody who's there, but give me an idea of, so if I'm joining at your it's essentials, right? Essentials level, what does that give me as a retreat leader or a retreat professional in general? How does that help my business?
yeah. So obviously you'll get a badge that you'll be able to promote and use on your own, showing that you're part of a bigger picture of things, the association. And then there's a toolbox that I think is the biggest key for that essential member, because a lot of those, of course, everybody has to start there anyway, the way we've got it set up. But I feel like a lot of those will be newer, not as experienced. And as they come in, we have a toolbox for them to be able to gather things. And then I think a really special thing that we're doing is, it's 111 here. Those are my numbers. I think that something that's really nice that we are adding is if you're a founding member, you'll get the opportunity to put an opt-in in that toolbox. So if we have 100 founding members and even 50 choose to do it, we end up having 100,000 members at some point. Hey, you've got that many eyes on your opt-in. Of course, they have to decide they want your tool, so make it really juicy. But I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a big part of what they get. We'll have master classes that we sponsor every month. Later, we'll have groups that we have. A lot of our leadership council will run in like health and wellness, for instance, Allison. That's a big group. Maybe yoga will need its own later, but right now, as we're getting started, we'll start with some general groups, some corporate groups, so that they'll be able to come in and listen in. But
Mhm.
I'm not one that is so set in stone. I am flexible. I love change. I know a lot of people don't, but if something doesn't work, I'm not going to keep doing it. So
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so many good things happening. I had an attorney ask me a few weeks ago, so you're okay not having everything figured out and just opening this up? And I'm like, yeah. And I said, how I was so inspired to say
That's
this.
kind
I
of what
said,
you
how
do when you
often?
start something.
Well,
It's
and how often do you get
yeah.
an email? I almost every day I notice it now, updating terms and conditions that you have to agree to. I'm like, why can't we do that? I
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, I'm glad I said that because attorneys, that's their job, to poke holes through everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. Poke holes. I'm okay with that. That's how we
Yeah.
make it better.
Yeah.
Well, and what I want to point out is what I really appreciate. You said, we'll have groups for health and wellness, and then we'll also have groups for corporate, and we're going to sponsor all. And that is also something that the three of us really have talked about. And two, is that it's wonderful that there are wellness retreats, but there are so many types of retreats. The spectrum is huge.
Yeah.
There are corporate retreats, there are leadership retreats, there are special interest retreats, there are all of these. And there isn't one place or one association that kind of encompasses and brings all of us together. There's so many different things out there for just yoga retreats or just women only retreats or
Yeah.
just this or just that. And I love that you're really one going into it saying, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm flexible. I'm open. Everyone, please come and let's all together
Yeah.
build this.
Yeah, because I also think too today it's 2026, and I feel like number one, people want human connection now more than anything. I mean,
Yeah.
technology's not, and the virtual space isn't going anywhere. It's just going to get bigger. But number two, this whole idea that a retreat can work in just about any business instance, no matter
Yeah.
who you serve, no matter what your industry is, who your audience is, or any of that, that a retreat is a workable concept. And so the more we raise awareness of that, everybody
Mhm.
wins.
Yeah, Holly, I have a question for you, because I know that we had been in conversation back and forth for a while. And what is it about the Retreat Industry Forum that aligned with you to then say, okay, I want the International Retreat Association to be a sponsor?
Yeah, I feel like the vision that you have is as you said earlier, very in alignment. Well, it's like so many people have this idea, but they don't know how to make it happen. I as I'm doing interviews, I'm hearing people say that, "Oh, well, I thought about doing that. Why didn't you?" I mean, I ask every day. I pinch myself saying, "Why did God trust me with this idea? Because why isn't it happening?" But it's not just about me. It's about the whole system and everybody in it. And I think that what the same people you have coming to the forum are the same people that should and hopefully could and will be part of an association and see the value in that. People that haven't been part of associations before, it's my job to educate them to understand why they're important. I've been a part of lots, so I understand. So it was easy for me, but as I go down the rabbit hole of questions being asked, it's like good research for me to do to understand it because then I can communicate it better too. But yeah, way in alignment with that whole ecosystem I love and bringing people together to respect and trust and collaborate and not compete. I mean, let's complete each other. Let's not compete with each other.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm
Love
here to
that.
support that industry. I'm not here to create a bunch of certifications and everything like that. I want to bring them in, have events of our own, and make sure that everybody is just educated. Because your event, maybe, I mean, when it's in, did you say Spain, France, Paris?
Paris.
In
Paris
November.
in November.
Paris, sorry, all of them. Let's have them at all of
All
them.
everywhere. There we go.
Yeah.
But there'll be people that can't attend that, and so like we need more events. It's fine. I feel like there could be some every quarter, we want to do a couple online, a couple live. I don't look at it as that as competition. I look at it, wow, We're all just pick one. It's like just go and get more educated on the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, there's no one right way. There are a million different ways that work
Yeah.
for a million different types of businesses and clients and attendees. But what is important, and I do think that there is like a right and a wrong, is in the efficacy and the ethics. And
Yes.
that is what is lacking. Not to say that there are all of these unethical retreats out there. I'm not saying that at
Right.
all, but there's no place where that is kind of like checked or like this
Mhm.
is the standard. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to retreat if this is happening, or you
Right.
need to have these proper precautions in place, those types of things. And I
Right.
think that that is the value of what you have started to create.
Well, and what you're teaching them at an event like yours is what we're having them basically sign to with professional standards in ours. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like go get the education, then, let's be part of something that you're actually signing your name to and agreeing on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Totally.
it over the years, and I know, Alison, I know you have, and Erin, you probably have too. The space has exploded. It's absolutely exploded over the last 6 years, which is wonderful. I think there needs to be more amazing retreat leaders, more amazing venues. But what also has exploded, and it's just the nature of the beast when you have such a growth, is a lot of fraud and a lot of shams and a lot of empty promises. And sadly, it injures all of us.
Right.
If somebody attends a retreat or pays for a retreat and there's not actually a retreat, I mean, there's just so many things that can go wrong. Well,
Mhm.
now they're burned out and they're like, well, then why should I go to Shannon's or Erin's or Alison's or anybody else's? Because it's shady. It's whatever. And so it is so appealing to our hearts, our hearts that we do have, some sort of standards, or that there's some place that people can go to understand the basic tools, the basic ethics, let alone anything else. I think that's the
Perfectly
first
said.
time we all
I
got
don't know what
quiet.
else I could add to that.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I think that's the
Right?
first time we've all
Drop
got
mic.
quiet.
I know,
It was
right?
like mic drop.
Right.
Well, Holly, we are so excited to have you at the forum. We're very excited that you are a sponsor and that you get the opportunity to share your association with our attendees and with our other vendors and sponsors. And so everything about Holly and her association will be in the show notes, but of course, she also will be at the forum. I know I've already said it. There may or may not be tickets left, but for those of you that are coming, I'm so excited for you to meet her. And again, her information's in the show notes. So thank you, Holly, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. If you love this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your retreat besties. Want more support? Grab free resources at theretreatleadersplaybook.com. Until next time, lead boldly, serve deeply, and retreat profitably.